Hi, I'm Dr. David House, the Director of Online and Extended Learning at Husson University. In this presentation, we'll continue our discussion on announcements in part of our series, Mixing the Best of Design and Delivery in Online Learning. So now that we've talked about why you make announcements, the simple question is, if you haven't done it before, how do you do it, and can it be easy? Absolutely it can. So, how do I make announcements, and how do I make them easy to manage on my end so that my students can get the information they need and get the contact from the instructor? First, I go to the announcements link on the left-hand panel of my Canvas shell. And you'll notice I'm using an empty shell, but it works for any shell. You'll notice that in announcements I have all and I have plus announcements. So I'm going to add my announcement, which automatically pulls up the rich content editor. And so I can say that this is my week 1 announcement. Here, I might even follow a standard block where I would say, welcome to week 1. And you could have it standard say, welcome to week. During this week, and let's say that this is my sample U.S. History 2 course, so I would start right at the end of the Civil War. So during this week we will discuss and examine the era of Reconstruction, the United States. And I can go on saying maybe some preview as to what students would expect. Maybe I can list some of my outcomes, but also importantly, please remember that we will have some presentation material for you to read/view, text reading, and a primary document exercise in discussion board 1. So I'm telling them where they need to go, what they need to do, where they can find it. I'm reviewing what's already been listed in the syllabus, but it's no different than a face-to-face course. In the face-to-face course, a lot of times in class you're reminding students, remember in the syllabus we have these assignments due this week. You're doing the same thing, except now you're doing it with the announcement. Okay? One advance note. Please remember that this week's reading assignment is longer than most. So start reading now. And if everyone knows my classes, they know that's always the case. But if you have any advanced notes or some warnings, hey, you might want to get that reading started early, now's the time. Okay? When you've got that done, you can add pictures, you can add all the things you can normally add from the rich content editor. If you want to post a short video of you giving the week opening, that's fine as well. Keep it short, but you can put it in there. Now, you can post it. You can post it to all sections. You can create sections in your course, or if you have multiple sections, you may have a different announcement for each one. But in this case, let's say it's to all of my students, right, in the course. I can delay posting and set the date for which I want it to post. So let's say I want to post it on Sunday the 29th. I want to allow users to comment. By enabling the podcast feed and including student replies in there, it means that students will see this as a podcast. So as they become available, these things can be notified. Students can be notified right away. And allow liking. You don't have to. You can. It's not required. But here, what I've done is I've managed to make my week 1 announcement right now. It took me a few minutes, but I've managed to remind students. I've looked at where they're going, what they're doing, maybe some advanced notes, a little bit about what they'd learned this week. I can also set a midweek reminder for myself if I want. So I've posted this announcement. So if I go home, I'll see my home again. I can go to announcements and I can see my announcements right there. And it's delayed, so it'll tell you then. You can go back and edit it if you want by just clicking on the announcement. It will take you there. So this announcement goes out to students. We can also add as many announcements as we need. So if you have a midweek announcement you'd like to make, so week 1, and we'll call it midweek reminders and thoughts. So here we could just simply write, so far everyone has been hard at work on their reading assignments and the presentations. Please remember that by this point in the week, you should be preparing or already working on the discussion board assignment due maybe we make it due on Sunday, and then we give the date. So if it's Sunday, we can say I'll use the calendar for posting, but so if we said that was the 29th, so therefore it'll be April 5th for Sunday, April 5. Okay. If you have any questions, please send them to me, etc. So any of your midweek reminders and thoughts, you can set this to post, and you can set it to post on Wednesday. Once again, you can allow users to comment, include the student replies and podcast feed, and save. And that makes me wonder, or that reminds me, I go back and I say, I think I did a pretty good job on that first announcement. So that's the midweek reminders and thoughts. But I also included the due date for the discussion board. So I can always remind here and edit my announcement. Due on April 5. And just click save. So in a short period of time, I've built already 2 announcements in a few minutes, and those will automatically are set to post on these days. And so now I know that students will have 2 key touch points from me. I've planned them ahead of time. I don't have to wait for them, and they automatically go out to students. I can also pre-plan some of my summary thoughts for the end of the week the same way, but I'll want to hold back and make some observations. So using the announcements really helps push out to students and really helps to make your course clear. So why use announcements? Well, once again, we use announcements to make sure that we have a clear set of contacts between student and instructor. that students have a course that's designed and delivered from their perspective, reminds them, and continually engages them with the instructor throughout the whole week. If you do these simple things, I can't guarantee student success, but I can guarantee that you'll be putting students in a position to be successful. If you have any questions or need to contact us, please email us at doel@husson.edu or file a ticket by filing a ticket online or calling the help desk at extension 1000. Subscribe to our channel for updates, new videos, and use the doel@husson.edu email address to suggest future videos or topics of interest. Once again, I thank you and have a pleasant day wherever you are.